welcome to another lawn clippings video. Today we are going to be working on making a little fun mini album page. I've kind of already started here, so here's my mini album. It's chipboard that I covered in this fabric, and then you can see the inside's a little messy. I'll probably do something to fix that up. But and then it has these wonderful, okay, here we go, here's one. Chipboard pages. And so what I did was I covered these pages in paper with Mod Podge on both sides, and then I went through and painted the edges. So we're going to be doing one of these pages, and I'm doing these for my Instax photos. So it's going to be kind of a little Instax album since I have quite a few of these. So, but the first thing I want to start on is what we're going to be doing with the cover. So we're going to be working with Fanciful Frames and Smitty's ABCs and making kind of a cute thing. I don't know if you guys have been doing Pinterest yet. That's P-I-N, it's like interest with a P, Pinterest.com. I won't even go through spelling. But it's really fun, and I saw this beautiful quote that says, your heart is where my home is. So I really wanted to create that as kind of a cover for my book. So I'm going to put this frame here on my book. Thing that I'm gonna do is stamp out my sentiment. So I already started using Smitty's ABCs, and I started spelling things out already, and I wanted to show you how I was doing it. So what I want it to say is, your heart is where my home is, and I just think that's just so sweet. I saw it on Pinterest. I'm not that clever to come up with it myself, but what I did was, as I was spacing things out, I spelled out the letters, and I put, so this is a Dear Lizzie chipboard sticker, and then this is a crepe paper button, and I put those in the spots, so then I could fill in the letters. So I put your, and then I laid the heart down, then I did the letters, just like that. And then I also wanted to make sure that it would fit within my frame. Oh, I double-ised it. Okay, all right, I gotta fix that. So we have that, and then you'll see when you put the heart and the home button, I think it just turns out so cute. But before we put those on, we're going to cut this out. So let me do that real fast. So we have this all done, and this is going to go right here on my little book. And what I want to do is I want to stamp the little hanger from Fanciful Frames on this. So I'm just going to use some Memento ink and stamp, and hope this stamps well on the canvas. And so I'm just going to stamp that right in the center there. I'm just going to hold it down a little bit. Sometimes when I stamp on fabric, I like to hold it and the ink kind of goes into the fabric better. I don't know if that's true or it's just my imagination, but it feels like that to me. So of course it's going to have that canvasy look, just like that. Oh no. Okay, I cannot believe that I did that. I'm so frustrated with myself. So what I did was I just cut out the center with my giant ink thumbprint. Watch out where your ink is. And I have ink just all over my hand. I don't even know where it came from. So I cut that part out. I stamped this again just on a piece that I just kind of cut out. And now we're just going to adhere those together. So, you know, ugh, frustrated with myself, but there we go. I'm going to use some of this Tombow Mono Multi Glue. It's a lot. Tombow Mono Multi Liquid Glue. It's hard to say. And I'm just going to adhere that down right there as if that was the nail on there, which I think looks really, really cute. Okay, so now we have that all cut, and I'm going to adhere this right here, and I'm actually going to use some foam tape. So we've got the foam adhesive down, and I'm just going to line that up right above my little hanger and just put that down. And then the next part will be to add my heart, which actually already has adhesive on it. And then the home, I think maybe my best bet with this might be maybe some of this Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. Now we've got this really cute cover, which I am just loving. I just think it's adorable. So, and I just love this phrase. I just think it's so sweet. So right now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on to putting together one of these pages. So I have a chipboard page here. It got a little bent and a little warped, but I think it's going to be fine. And we're going to use that. We're going to use Mod Podge, and it's going to be awesome. So I've got this Ranger craft mat here, which is already covered in the fabric Mod Podge from before. And one of these foam brushes, these are cheapy ones. You can wash them out or throw them away. And I'm just going to be using some of the classic matte Mod Podge. And I just put a little bit on like that. It's probably, it might be a little too much, but. And then just go along with my brush and just spread it out. And this is a really great way to adhere paper to chipboard, like cute little chipboard pieces you might have lying around. So I'm just going to make sure I get all the edges, because that's where it kind of can peel up, just like that. And then you're just going to lay this paper. So a good way to do it is kind of flip the paper over and lay your book down on it. And then do just like that. So we're going to let that dry a second, and while we let that dry, I want to decorate one of my pages that I have. Okay, so I'm going to use this picture here that I have of my hubby, and you could do, since these are pretty large, there's not too many options here with placement, but so I'm going to use this one and just grab my this to that here. And these are from, I have one of these Fujifilm Instax cameras. It is so much fun. I love it so much, and it's like the cutest little camera, and I just carry it with me everywhere and try to remember to take photos, and I just love doing that. So I'm just going to put this photo right here. And then one of the cute little things I have, I think this is an old Dear Lizzie thing, but I just love this little button here. And so what I'm going to use here to decorate it is actually these little, I'm going to do like 2 little lanterns kind of hanging. So I'm going to stamp and color these out. I like the 2 hanging down, and so what I'm going to do is actually stamp directly on this. So I'm going to take the this is kind of the curvy line from the set, but I'm going to straighten it out. Okay, so I already have a fun little page right here. Already set to go. Super simple, but that's kind of all it needs in this little mini book. So here's that page, and now I want to get back to finishing covering up the other pages. So we have this one here, and the best way that I've found to kind of cut around this is I just use this X-Acto knife. I have this little fingertip one, and I just go right along the edge and then just follow. I'm going to take out my crocodile and just punch through the hole here that already exists, just to get that paper through. And it gives a nice clean cut. If you don't have something like that, the way I did the other pages, I'll show you here, is I just took my scissors and I stuck them through like this, and then I just sanded the outside. So I have these really cool basic gray sanding tools that has, one of them has a circular sander, so I was able to go inside and kind of do that. It's like a basic gray tool set thing. But anything could work. You can also use like any nail file you could buy like for whatever cheap at Target, and you can just go around and smooth out all of your mistakes so your cutting doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. So the next thing, now once you have one page, you want to make sure you cover the one and then move on to the other one, because if you don't, it's just really hard to tell where to cut. I think it's easier to kind of do step by step. So now I'm going to use my next paper. So I'm going to take that and we're going to do this fast motion. Okay, so now this page is all done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a malted milk Jenny Bolin paint dabber and I want to finish off these unfinished edges on the side. So what I do is just kind of you kind of have to pounce the ink a little bit for it to come out, and then I take the sponge and smooth it out. And so I went around all the edges, and now what I want to do is just sponge to kind of make it seem a little more continuous, the outside. I'm just taking this and sponging the edges. And it also gives kind of like a little vintage feel, because a lot of these papers have that vintage feel to it. So I'm just doing that and then going around the other side. And this one has less, it's a little more graphic, but it still works with this edging around it, because we're not doing a whole lot, we're just doing a little bit. And the dabbers work really well for this because the sponge is already in there. I don't have to take out a brush or anything. I really like using these. I've just been really enjoying it. So now you can see this is a completely finished page, which is really fun, that you can do lots of little things on it, just like we did on this page. So I'll probably finish the mini album and then post it maybe next week, but I'll have a whole page full of lots of little things in this really pretty book. So today we worked on just Mod Podging and covering this chipboard page. And you can see, like, my paper's a little crooked. I didn't really care for these. I just wanted it to be imperfect because I know most of it's going to be covered up with pictures. And so I just covered this, we covered this, and then we added the paint around the edges just to kind of make it look more final. And then here's a page that's already done. And you can see I just added an Instax photo. As you can tell, I have a whole bunch of these, so that I've been wanting to put in an album. And since they're just one-time prints out of the Instax camera, it's called Fujifilm Instax INSTAX camera. And I know that I'll just be able to do one. So there's not that many placements that you can do on this page. So you just kind of add little extra things, little doodads you might have. So I put this little Dear Lizzie button here, and then I used lawnfawn's Lunar light stamp set just to add like a little embellishment there, and then just journaled on the photo. And I'll be able to keep doing that here. Another cool thing could be is if you had your book open, you could have your page, your photo here, and you could do journaling about the photo over here if there was more to journal about. So, and then that would be a really great place to use Fanciful Frames too, because you could do the journaling in there and kind of hang it maybe, and this kind of looks like wallpaper, so I think that would be really cute. So that would be kind of a cute way to also do these photos. I hope I do that on one of the pages. The other thing that we did was create this cover for this album, and so I used Smitty's ABCs to create a custom sentiment, something I had found off of Pinterest. So things you see online that are really cute, you can use the phrase on your book, and so I just put and I was able to use kind of little elements that I already had and space the Smitty's around it on my block and then stamp it, and then just Copic colored this frame and then used actually stamped directly on the fabric, and then put a little Hero Arts pearl there, black pearl, so it would look like a nail. And this is just a perfect cover for this little mini album. I used fabric Mod Podge to cover the chipboard album with this fabric. So this is kind of the beginnings of my book, and I can't wait to show you guys when it's all done. And I'll definitely put that on the blog whenever I get a chance to finish it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!